Hello and happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is having a great start to their week. And you had a great Christmas and a wonderful New Year's. I hope so. I hope you enjoyed the video that I shared last week as a recording. I was on vacation and spent time with my granddaughter. So I'm back this week. So I'm hoping that all of you can join me again for some fun paper crafting today. So my name is Wendy Lee, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the US. And today we are going to play with, oh, I totally didn't grab the stamp set. I'll grab that. But I want to show you, we are making a really super cool, see if I can get this in here, vertical easel card. So this opens like this, and you've got a stopper that holds it. Oh, I have excess glue. Okay, let's try this again. Goes like that. So this part sticks out in the front, and you can have this on display. Super cool, right? So I'm going to show you how to create this. So let me go ahead and switch over to the correct camera so we can get started. Great. All right, let me double check and make sure that we are in the Facebook group and that I can see some comments here. Oh gosh, yeah, you guys are jumping right in. Great. Oh, Jean, I'm so glad that you liked last week's video. Let me go ahead and put this out here. Hey, oh good, Kate, glad to see you as well. Gwen, okay, great. So wonderful that you guys are jumping on in, and we will definitely get started on this fun fold. So I'm going to show it to you now that it's flat on the table. I'm going to show it to you again and see what you think. Well, maybe I'm gonna, there it is. Okay, boy, that delay is a little bit crazy. So again, this is an easel, but I've done it in a vertical format. And this piece here stands away, and it's so fun. And then this is our stopper on the inside. So you can kind of see that from the top. It's really neat. So I'm gonna show you guys how to create this. And we are using the new Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. And I did not pull in the coordinating punch, but there is a punch that goes along with this stamp set to punch out these little ice cream tops and the cones. But I used the Popsicles in the stamp set, and we are going to fussy cut those today. So just playing a little bit with that. So this Sweet Ice Cream bundle is part of the Ice Cream Corner product suite, which Dana and I are featuring this whole product suite in our upcoming Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape. Oh my gosh, the projects are turning out so adorable. You don't want to miss it. So I believe you have until January 30th to sign up. I'll have a link in the description so that you guys can sign up for that if you're interested. It is 12 projects, and there's lots of fun fold cards, and there's 3D projects, there's tags. It's great. And then we do bonus projects as well. We've got a bonus class. I'm working on a framed art piece. So anyway, so much fun. If you haven't joined us for an escape before, I hope that you will join us this time. So, okay, the new catalog is live today, which means Celebration is live as well. So this is where this is coming from. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll talk a little bit about that kind of stuff as we go. So I'm going to start with my card base. I believe I've got all the measurements already in the description of the video. So let's move this out of our way. So hopefully you have everything that you need. Let's see if I can get this in screen. So I've got a piece of, this is 8.5 by 5.5 Bermuda Bay cardstock. And we're going to start off and we're going to score this. So I'm going to score this at 2 1/8. See if I can get that going. And so I'm just using my Simply Scored. Anytime I've got multiple score lines, I find this is much easier than pulling out my trimmer. And then 4 1/4. Super simple and easy. I'm going to go ahead and score the next piece as well, just so that I can put this board away. I've also punched 2 1.5-inch circles out of Pool Party cardstock. This could have been done in any color that you wanted to do it in, but I've already punched them out, so I'm not going to show you how to punch, but I'm going to lay this circle on my scoreboard, and I am going to score it in the center. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but you might be able to see I mark my scoreboard with a Sharpie every 1 inch. This way I can use the center of it for alignment purposes, and it's worked out really well for me. So I'm going to do the same thing with the second circle. So again, it doesn't matter if it's perfectly centered, but you do want them the same. It'll work out a little bit better. So I'll show you what we're going to do with those in a moment. Let's go ahead and put this scoreboard away because we're done with it now. All right. So let's bring in our card base, and I'm going to get a bone folder out, and we're going to go ahead and fold and give this a nice sharp crease on each of these score lines. I think it's really important to do this as you're working on your cards because they're going to lay so much better if you get that good crease early on. So you can already see this is wanting to go ahead and stand up, right? I'm going to give that one more good crease. All right, let's go ahead and add our designer paper. So I've already cut out a little bit of the paper from the, I think it's called Sweet Ice Cream Designer Paper. Ice Cream Corner Designer Paper. So this, again, this is part of this whole product suite. It's lovely. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down right to my front of my card base. Maybe. I say I'm going to, and then my adhesive didn't work. All right, I'm going to move that out of my way. And I left a skinny border around my layers. So I think these are 2 inches by 5 3/8 is what I cut these. You guys know I like those eighths. I like those skinny borders. So this one's a little more involved today. I don't usually go this crazy on fun folds on a weekly Facebook Live. Now I definitely do in my Forget Me Not Club. So if you love fun folds and techniques, that is definitely something to consider joining is my monthly card club. We feature lots and lots of different products and lots of different techniques. So it's a lot of fun, I think, anyway. All right, so next, let's go ahead and complete the inside of the card, and then we'll move back to the outside. I find it a little easier to deal with that way. So I've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock, and I want to go ahead and stamp a few sprinkles in Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to bring in my Bermuda Bay ink pad. Let's move that out of the way. I want you guys to make sure you guys can see this all right. And then I'm going to use this little sprinkle stamp here. And just stamp a few sprinkles on here. Great. Put that away. So next, I wanted to cut, and I've actually already die cut it, but I'm going to show it to you. So I cut a piece of Whisper White. Well, it's now Basic White, right? So as of today, our new white cardstocks are available to purchase. So both the thick and the regular that has been sold out for the last couple weeks are now available. There's some new item numbers. Those are the item numbers that are in the supply list of the video. So you have the correct item numbers to order those. So let me show you something about this. I die cut this. Another item that's also available today. Like this is an exciting day for me. This super cute mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So it's just a mini version of the larger machine. It works the same. So these little platforms fold out. So you can use this for all of your little things. So this is a nice small circle. So it comes with, like the big machine, it comes with everything you need. So it came with the platform that you need. How cute is that? 2 of your cutting plates. And it's got the numbering system just like the big one, so everything's there. You've got your embossing plate, and there's another embossing plate. Let's see. I'll have to read these. I haven't read this yet. 3 and 1. Oh, I bet one's for regular and one's for the thick. I haven't used this just yet. So you've got all your instructions that it came with. But the nice thing is that it's got pictures and it tells you numbers of what you need to do. So you'll just make your sandwich just like you do with the larger machine and run it through. So for this, I've got my plate and I would put my cardstock in. And then the die I used is the smallest circle here from the Stitch Shapes dies. I love those. If you don't have those, I use them so much. I would lay that down, put my cutting plate on top, and then run it through the machine. So the one thing I want to mention about this is because this is such a small, narrow opening, and it's not as beefy as the larger machine, I highly recommend offsetting the ends of these plates. So sometimes if you have trouble getting it to go into the machine, if you offset these so that they're not all stacked up easier, it'll be easier for the machine to take them in. So you would just run that through and die cut it. So anything that's small and narrow like this, you can use this handy dandy mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it folds up and it takes up very little room. So this is one you can leave out on your desktop all the time if you'd like to. So I wanted you guys to know that is now available for purchase. So I've got my small circle and I want to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on it. So I am going to bring in Blackberry Bliss and my stamp image. Now I could put a foam pad under this if I wanted to give it a little cushion, since this is photopolymer, but I'm not finding that I have any problem with this particular stamp set, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, we'll close this for now so that we don't end up wearing this. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. Elaine, question, keep the plates from bowing. So Elaine, on my die cutting machine, I make sure that I'm flipping the plates over. So, and then I also like to keep one plate designated for a bottom plate and one for a top plate. Let me show you what I mean by that. I don't have a top plate handy, but here's a well-loved bottom plate on my large machine. So you can see it is cut up. You can't see through this bad boy to save your life anymore. It is just cut into, and it's pretty darn straight. So as I'm running them through the bottom plate, if I start to feel this bow up any, I will flip it over. And that just keeps things level here. Same thing with the top plate. So I designate one for the top because I want to be able to see through it. So I don't want that cut blade in there. Plus it keeps the paper a little bit cleaner on the top. So again, I will keep flipping it to keep it from bowing. So I hope that that helps. And you want to use the whole surface of your machine. As you can see, I don't do everything just in the center. I'm using as much of this surface as I possibly can, which helps as well. So I hope that helped. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this pool party layer right to the card inside with our Stampin' Seal. Now we could have used white. I did not. I chose to use a light color of cardstock because that's fun too. All right, and then we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. And the reason I'm popping this up on the inside, I don't typically do that, but we need a stopper for our easel. So if that's popped up on the inside, that's going to keep our card open when we have it on display. All right, the backings off of those. Great. And we'll lay that right there. So isn't that fun having the little sprinkles? All right. So again, that's my stopper right there. So when my card is on display, that's going to keep it from closing. But it's fine when it's flat as well. All right, let's do the really fun part. So I have already cut my ovals. So I cut this one using the largest stitched oval from the Stitch Shapes dies. As I said, I use them a lot. Definitely something to put on your list if you don't already have those. And then I use the largest oval from the Layering Ovals dies as well. So we've got ovals, squares, and circles that are awesome to layer with the Stitch Shapes. So I'm just going to layer these on top of each other, but I want to put my ribbon on first. So I'm pulling this is some of the purple Posy ribbon that is in, oh, what combo pack is this in? It is in the Playing with Patterns combo pack. So I'm going to take a small piece, about 5 inches or so, and cut that off. I'm going to wrap this around the layer. I could tie this around, but I find that sometimes that's a little difficult to get a nice tight bow. So I'm just folding the ends to the back, and with a curved shape, sometimes it's hard to get it to stay in place as well. So now that's adhered in place. Now I want to go ahead and I'm just going to pull off some of this ribbon. I believe about, let's see, 10 inches or so might be a good amount to pull off if you want. And I'm actually going to rotate this. I tend to tie my bows upside down, but whenever I can leave them on the spool, I try to. Let me flip that over. There is a right side to this where you can see the color a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and make my loops. Hopefully I've given myself enough to work with. and crisscross. And whoops, that one fell out of the loop. Let's see if I can grab it again. Oh, my arthritis skipped me today. There we go. I salvaged it, maybe. We will see. All right, so I'm going to pull that, and that's crazy. That's a terrible bow. See if I can pull that out a little bit. Now, this particular ribbon has a little bit of a stick to it, I'm finding, when I work with it. And so it doesn't slide as easy when you hold the knot as some of our other ribbons. So it may take just a few more minutes to work with. Hopefully I'm still in camera. I tend to pull towards me when I'm doing this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, and then I can work with this a little bit more. Get that out of my way. Oh, good, Elaine, hopefully that does help you. Let me know if it doesn't, and we'll see what else we can do to kind of help you out. I know that Jean has talked about, she runs hers when they bow. She'll run them under hot water. I've not tried that, partially because I just hate to waste all that water, and maybe it's not wasting it, but I just haven't tried that. Oh, Jean, yeah, you ordered your mini boss, as we're calling it, our loving name. Okay, I'm happy with that bow. And the nice thing is if I need to slide it, because I tied it right on that ribbon, I can slide that over, and I can get rid of some of this excess length on these tails now. Make that just a smidge shorter. Cute, right? So I had to play with it for a moment because, you know, to get it the way I wanted it to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and slide this way over if I can, because I'm going to layer this other oval right on top of it. All right, so this one's going to go on, and see, I need to push it over because I need that knot to actually kind of come all the way to that edge if I can get it over there. Great, that's what I'm looking for. And then I can layer this right on top, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that. All righty. So you guys super excited that the new catalog is alive, whichever way you want to say it. It's very exciting. There's a lot of great products in there. I'll be showing you a lot of good stuff over the next several months. And it's celebration time. So if you guys are not familiar with celebration, celebration is awesome. It's my favorite time of the year. For every $50 that you spend before shipping and tax, you get a free celebration item. So free, yes, it's awesome. They're exclusive. You can only get them free. You cannot purchase them. And there's some really good stuff to choose from. There's even some level 2 items that when you spend $100, you can get those as well. And so I will definitely be showcasing those over the next couple of months. So that promotion runs today, January 5th through February 28th of 2021. And to sweeten it, the excitement, in my opinion, is I am doing my celebration again this year. So since celebration is only 2 months this year instead of 3, the celebration event will be in March this time. So I've got details on my blog today, so you can find out how you earn your way into that. But basically, if you spend $150 with me while during this promotion, you will earn your spot. And there's lots of good fun stuff. So we had a good time last year. And of course, my team has an opportunity to earn it for free. They don't know that yet because I haven't told them, but they do. So I just realized as I'm gabbing here, I did not stamp on this layer before putting it together, which is funny because I do that a lot actually. So I'm going to stamp it after the fact. This could be disastrous. We'll see how it goes. But I needed to stamp my popsicle stick. So I'm using cinnamon cider. My hope is that I've strategically placed my dimensional so I can avoid it. And hopefully I can get these stamped okay without making too big of a hot mess. You could pull this open, pull this apart, and slide in a foam pad, and that would help as well. So how many times do you guys do this? Do you get all sidetracked and forget to stamp? I definitely did that. Okay, so we're going to go above that dimensional. I'm going to push a little extra hard. There's my popsicle stick there. And then we will put another one close to it, and hopefully these end up okay placement-wise. And then there's a little bitty detail stamp, which I think is fun. It adds kind of a wood grain to our popsicle stick, and I like to flip it so that they look different from each other. So I've got my 2 popsicle sticks. How fun is that? Didn't do too bad considering I already adhered these together. Should have stamped first, but that's okay. All right, let's go ahead and I think I want to make the popsicles and get this all together before we put the mechanism together. So let me pull in my scrap paper. So I think the supply list says that you need about a 1 1/4 by 2-inch piece of Pool Party and Purple Posy. I've grabbed some scraps, so I don't know if mine are exactly that or not, but that's okay. And I'm going to pull in a scrap paper to use because we're going to stamp off. So that is an actual technique. And let's bring in a couple ink pads here. I'm going to start with my Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to stamp the base of the popsicle first. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp full strength in Bermuda Bay. All right, so let me clean that. Next, I'm going to stamp the top of the popsicle, but I want to stamp off because I want it a little bit lighter. So I'm stamping on my scrap to remove some of that ink, and then I'm going to stamp over the top. So it just gives it a lighter tone. And then let's add some sprinkles, and I'm going to do those full strength. Love, love, love. Sorry, I'm cleaning behind me because I'm switching ink colors. Now we are going to pull in Blackberry Bliss and repeat this. Yeah, Jean, you should have caught me on that. Wondered about stamping. Yeah, I totally missed the stamping. All right, the base I'm going to stamp full strength again, just like we did on the last one. And then we'll do the top of the popsicle, and I'm going to stamp off again. Lovely. And let's add some sprinkles to this one as well. Now there's an image that's a little more of like a typical line sprinkle versus the dots, but I like the dots for this one. All right, move my scrap out of the way, and we're going to do a little fussy cutting. So, you know, there's no dies to go with this particular set, but that's fine. This is an easy fussy cut, and there is a punch that goes with the other ice cream and cone. I should pull that out and show you. See, easy to cut. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, great. So now I have my 2 ice cream, or popsicles, I guess you would call these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these up. Let's go ahead and put that on there. You don't have to if you don't want all this height, but you know me, I like the height. It's fun and exciting. Oh, you thought I was cutting the designer paper. You know, you definitely could do that, but this is a little bigger image than what's in the designer paper, and so I wanted a larger image. And I like that this can hang off the edge just a smidge. That's always fun as well. And then I'm going to put this one right on top. So I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on it as well. And I'm going to overlap that. Cute. I love it. All right, next. I've already done this. So I stamped and heat embossed with white powder on this. So I'm sorry if that causes anybody any confusion. If you're not sure how to do heat embossing, I've done it before, but if you ask me, I will show you again. But I already did this, and I'm just going to fussy cut this. Now, I'm not a huge fan of fussy cutting. I will tell you that. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that, but sometimes it's kind of cool, especially when you do it on this darker cardstock, to cut these out. So you don't have to get super close, and you don't have to be really worried about the shape, I don't think. Sometimes I look at the outside of the stamped image, the rubber, this one's photopolymer, but sometimes I'll look at, you know, the shape that they've left from Stampin' Up! Around it. So there's my little thank you. And that sometimes if you follow their shape, it kind of gives you a guide. So I'm going to put this right on the front here, and I'm going to pop those up as well. Again, if you don't want so much height, you don't have to do it. It's dimensionals. It'll flatten when you mail, right? Don't tell my husband I said that. Okay. He works for the post office. He doesn't like it when I make really chunky cards. All right, so that's an awesome focal point. At least I think so. All right, let's go ahead and make our little mechanism that we're going to do on the pack. So that's where these two circles come in. And what did I do with the bone folder? How in the world do I lose a bone folder when I'm standing right here? There it is. I put it under my scrap paper. Let's go ahead and give these a good crease. Just fold them in half. I was close to center, not too bad. Now what I want to do is I want to adhere these half circles right onto my card front. Okay, so I'm going to use liquid adhesive. This might take a moment to dry, but I think that this will be the easiest for the shape that I'm dealing with. And I don't want it to ooze too much, so I'm not going to go too heavy on the glue. I just want to butt it up against that score line. So if you need to fold it to kind of see where you're at, that's why we use liquid glue, because you can slide that up a little bit. All right, let's do the same thing with this other half circle. Put a little liquid adhesive on it. So I actually made this as a swap card. Crazy, right? I made a lot of this card. Okay. That's one of the fun things about being a demonstrator, is that you can participate in swaps and trade with other demonstrators to get lots of good ideas. Did it pass the hubby test? Well, I just didn't ask him on this one. My swap cards went into a big envelope in a baggie, so it's in a padded envelope, so he didn't know. Isn't that terrible? I'm sure he would take the envelope and press on it, especially with that ribbon on the front of there, right? All right, so now that I've got my two half circles glued down to the card base, I'm going to add some liquid adhesive and I'm going to glue this right to my focal point here. So yeah, so this is a little chunky, but one of the things I like about this ribbon is it's so soft. So this actually isn't too bad to pop in the mail. All right, so let's go ahead and center this best that we can. And I'm going to hold this down for just a moment because I need that glue to sit just a bit. So that's the downside of using liquid adhesive, is that it takes a little longer to dry. So good deal. We're waiting, we're waiting. I just don't want to lift it up too soon and have it fall apart. All right, I think that's probably good. So now you can see when I fold that, see how the half circles are what holds that down in place and lets that pop up. Cool, right? I love it. I just think it's really, really a different way to do, I've done an easel this way a million times, but turning it up on this side, I think is a fun way to give it a different variation. So I hope you guys like this one. Yes? All right, good deal. So let me bring in the original so you can see the original versus today's. So you can see when I stamped off, I got a little less ink on that one than that one, but they're pretty. Every time it's a little bit different. Cut it a little different this time, but still a good one, I think. So I hope you guys will give this a try. It's a little more involved with that mechanism on the front, but not difficult, I don't think. If you want that wow factor, I think it's a good one to try. So. All right, so make sure if you enjoyed this video, please share that with your crafty friends. If you're watching on the replay, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as you're going in placing your orders with this fabulous new catalog, let me bring the catalog in so you can see it. Mine has sticky notes all in it. Most of them I've taken out, but as you're placing your orders, don't forget to choose your celebration free rewards, which mine has a lot of sticky notes in as well. And if you find that your list is long, I'll tell you, it's easy to get a long list. If you find that your list is long, you might consider joining my team. It's $99. You get $125 in product of your choice. Plus, oh, I need to show you. Totally forgot. And I haven't taken them out of the pack. you get 5 complete paper stacks. So these are going to be in the new annual catalog. So each of our color families plus one of the carryover end colors. They didn't give us the new end colors to give you a sneak peek of that. But 200 sheets of paper you get for free as part of the celebration offer. So it's awesome. You get a discount, you get free paper, your kit is free shipping, so you save 25% there. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and I'm happy to answer those, and we'll help you get started. So, all right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Oh, good. Elaine, you're going to give it a try? Yes. Jean, it would be awesome with the hydrangea. Yes, I agree. I love the hydrangea. I haven't gotten it yet. It's on the way. It was in my order that I placed this morning. So I've got all the paper shares ordered. Yay. All right. Thank you all. Have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday for some more stamping fun. Bye for now.